Welcome to Season 2 of Callbacks, where Austin-based actors will compete for the lead role in an upcoming short film as well as a cash prize. 3 rounds, 4 judges, 1 winner. This is Callbacks. Hello and welcome to Callbacks. I'm Brandon Hughes, the host for today's show. Today's episode features the final 3 actors that will be auditioning for the role of Zara in the upcoming short crime drama, Marriage Society. Written by our second script competition winner, Cristobal Barrera. Our last episode featured an interaction that focused on Zara as she set her sights on joining the prestigious Marriage Society. Round 1 highlighted the mystery, intrigue, and suggestiveness of her intentions. After a rigorous audition, 1 actor went home, and the following 3 actors were invited to today's round of callbacks. Danae.
Getting into the role of Zara, I definitely have to take more time to look at myself in the mirror, be more aware of how I'm reacting and who I'm gonna be interacting with, and getting into that mindset of I don't care about anyone else. I'm here for me and I'm here for myself only.
Isabella.
My process is I'm pretty naturally empathetic. I feel like I get her, I understand where her characteristics are coming from, so it allows me to play her without judgment.
And Olivia.
Trying to stay present, staying within my space and just kind of thinking about who she is as a person.
All actors have received new sides to perform off-book, and today's round will focus on Zara's interactions, tonal shifts, and mixed chemistry between 3 other characters. Our judges today are Rob Borrego, Chilava, Taylor Fredericks, and our guest judge today is local Austin actress Joan Deschamps. Judges will tally the score at the end of the audition, and the actor with the lowest score will be sent home. The remaining 2 actors will be invited for the final round of callbacks. Let's begin.
One constructive feedback that I received yesterday was that they wanted my character to be a little bit more dynamic.
One judge loved your sass, but was looking for a bit more mystery and intrigue in your character.
I'm definitely gonna incorporate that in today's audition. One of the challenges of today's group audition, I think, is gonna be coordinating so many more people in the scene. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts, and timing is gonna be so important and to hit those lines, so that's gonna be definitely difficult.
Tom, I have one more
Excuse
question.
me, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
You must be Prof. Higgins.
Yes, I am. And you are?
Zara Boucher. I'm joining the Marriage Society.
Well, you seem quite certain of yourself. Is that your application? Thank you.
Do I know you from somewhere?
I've never seen you before in my life.
But I could swear that I've seen you.
Glenn, I'll answer all your questions in the meeting. 5.0 GPA, lots of community participation. Very impressive.
Thank you. I like to apply myself in all of my endeavors.
Well, I am sure that you will apply yourself quite well here at the Marriage Society.
Ready to get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
I'm calling this meeting to order. Everybody, please take your seats.
You're the president of the Marriage Society.
Yes, I am. Sure, Zara, yeah?
When will elections be held for the Marriage Society?
It's not even a member yet and wants my job. Sure you do. Elections will be held once all new members have been voted in. While we're on the topic, actually, the president and secretary role will be up for grabs since I'm graduating. Hopefully we can find 2 people willing to do each role respectively. I can tell you from my own personal experience that one person doing it is quite hard.
Well, I was vice class president and secretary in high school, and it really wasn't that hard.
Yeah. You must be superhuman.
What high school was that?
To answer your question, Zara? Zara.
Oh, yes. Yes, it does. Thank you. If I was going to compare Zara to a famous character, I would liken her to a combination of Regina George and Elle Woods. Regina being the mean girl, only cares about herself, is going to put herself before others. And then Elle Woods, she may come off a little vapid at times because of her looks, but she is, at the end of the day, a very intelligent woman.
Judges, do you have any notes for Danae?
Yeah, Danae, I said it before and I'm gonna say it again because it really does resonate. You've got the it factor. That was movie star quality performance right there, in my opinion. You were consistent in that You were bringing that confidence, you were bringing that sass, and your interaction with everyone was just so genuine. You know, you won something from the professor, you won something from Fernie, and you clearly don't want anything to do with this other guy, and you didn't allow it to overwhelm you. You know, you still dominated the entire scene.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I agree with Rob. It really was. You really did make it about you. It's your story. When Fergie was talking, it was as if you were waiting for your line to come. So just maybe a little bit more of a hearing what he was saying in that little instance right there. But it is amazing. You're wonderful.
Kind of what Joan was saying, I saw a little bit in the beginning too. You were kind of waiting to kind of come into your line a little bit, and so just kind of taking the scene and making it your own. But you did really fit well into it, and there was a lot of different little cues that you did with each of the actors that I really did like.
I will say too, for folks watching at home, so this scene is quite long. It's several pages long, way too long for a normal, I think, audition. Today's challenge was actually cutting the scene down and kind of making it a little bit more seamless. Even though we were missing some of the seamlessness, you still held your own in between the character beats, in between seeing different sides of Zara. I wanted even more flirtatious vibes between you and the professor. I really did love what you did with Glenn. I love the tiny little movements, the body language, the hair flip, the hand whisking him away. Love those teeny tiny details, but all those little things you added, it's like the spice to it. So loved that, and thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Some of the feedback that I got was my stillness. I was a little too still.
But some of our judges thought you seemed a little too stiff, overly tense, and wish you showed a bit more range.
So today I definitely will take that into consideration and give myself a bit more room to play and be more kind of eccentric and theatrical with my physicality. I would say, I guess, having just to focus on more than one actor and display the different relationships that you have with those two different actors, that'll be probably the biggest challenge, is trying to juggle all that at once.
I have one
Excuse
more
me.
question.
Sorry.
No problem.
You must be Prof. Higgins.
Yes, I am. And you are?
Zara Boucher. I'm joining the Merit Society.
Well, you're very sure of yourself. Is that your application? May I see?
Do I know you from somewhere?
I've never seen you before in my life.
But I could swear that I've seen you.
Glenn, I'll answer your questions during the meeting, all right? 5.0 GPA, lots of community participation. Very impressive.
I'd like to apply myself in all my endeavors.
Well, I am sure that you will apply yourself very well here at the Merit Society.
Ready to get started?
Yes, let's get started.
I'm calling this meeting to order. Everybody, please take your seats.
You're the Merit Society president?
Yes, I am.
So when will elections be held for the Merit Society?
Not even a new member yet, and already wants my job. Elections will be held once all new members have been voted in. While we're on the topic, the president and secretary roles will be up for grabs. Since I'm graduating, hopefully we can find 2 people willing to do each job respectively. I can tell you from my own experience that one person doing both jobs is quite difficult.
I was class president and secretary of my high school, and it wasn't that hard.
Must be superhuman then.
What high school was that?
Did I answer your question, Zara?
Yes, you did. Thank you. The first thing that comes to mind for Zara is Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl. She can be pretty vindictive, but she's very confident in herself, and so I think they're very similar in those ways.
Judges, do you have any notes for Isabella?
Yeah, Isabella, last time you were here, we gave you some feedback about the stiffness. And today, I think you really overcame that exceptionally well. Your interaction with the professor, your interaction with everyone was great. This scene big on ambition, and I think you really showed that ambition in the scene, that you want what you want and you're gonna get it.
I really got a clear point of view of how you felt with each character that wasn't overly indicating. Your voice is really, I think, is like honey. It's just, it's fabulous. And I think it really suits this character very well.
I pretty much agree with both of them, but I also think that I could have wanted a little bit more attitude towards Glenn. I mean, I got that in the beginning, and I kind of saw the eyes that you gave to the professor, that seductiveness, which I'm all about eyes, and you really sold that.
This is the biggest opportunity for Zara to to show all these different sides of her within a couple beats. It sets up the audience for what's going to happen next. How much Glenn gets under her skin, beat after beat after beat. I was missing that as well. I wanted more and more and more. Everything else, so good. I don't have any notes on that. And I do appreciate there was more body movement today, a little bit more body language and suggestiveness. I do appreciate you kind of putting that extra ounce and that extra energy in since yesterday.
Thank you.
I'm probably gonna stay with the subtlety that they said coming from my eyes and use a lot of like my facial expressions.
Some of our judges thought you had an extremely seductive approach to your character. Another judge loved the subtlety of your facial expressions.
And then seeing kind of if I can add a little more physicality to the performance. I think the challenges are having the additional actors and kind of not seeing the space ahead of time and kind of going in and just seeing what we've got thrown at us.
Tom, I have one more question.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No problem.
You must be Professor Higgins.
Yes, I am. And you are?
Zara Boucher. I'm joining the Merit Society.
Well, you are very sure of yourself. Is that your application?
It
May I
is?
see? Thank you.
Do I know you from somewhere?
I've never seen you before in my life.
I could swear that I've seen
Glenn,
you.
I'll answer your questions during the meeting, all right? 5.0 GPA, lots of community participation. Very impressive.
I like to apply myself in all my endeavors.
Well, I am sure that you will apply yourself quite well here in the Merit Society.
Ready to get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
I am calling this meeting to order. Everybody, please take your seats.
You're the Merit Society president.
Yes, I am.
When are elections going to be held for the Merit Society?
It's not even a new member yet and already wants my job. Elections will be held once all new members have been voted in. But while we're on that note, the role of president and secretary are up for grabs since I'll be graduating. Hopefully we can find 2 people to do each role respectively. I can tell you from experience that one person doing it is quite difficult.
I was vice president and secretary in high school, and it wasn't that hard.
You must be superhuman.
What high school was that?
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Zara?
Yes, you did. Thank you. I think Zara's character is similar to Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Judges, do you have any notes for Olivia?
Yes, Olivia, yesterday, the approach you took, the quiet approach, I think it worked very well because it was one-on-one direct and it came off like seductive, hypnotic. Here, I don't think that quiet approach works too well because this is where you're showing your ambition, that drive to be the best, and it's that drive that's going to move you to do things that I think other people normally wouldn't do. And I wasn't getting that here. It was just a little too quiet for me, almost kind of mousy, almost kind of like the scene was dominating you.
I liked a lot of the subtleties that you did. It might have been quiet, maybe with a little bit more dynamicism, right? But like other than that, I think there was a really good play in each of them. I can tell without you really saying anything, the intention with each of the actors, which I really liked.
Yeah, I appreciated the subtlety of it, honestly. I just really did appreciate seeing your thoughts and the naturalness of that.
I think you bring the most seductive version of Zara to the table, which this story absolutely needs. What I wanted a little bit more of, a little bit more dynamics, a little bit more volume, because we do have to, at this point in the story, we have to give the audience an idea of like, she's not messing around. Everything else I thought was flawless. Thank you so much. All right, so do y'all want to start with Danae?
Yes, I mean, if we're talking about directing, I think that, I've heard this saying before that, 90% of directing is casting. And I think if we cast her, directing would probably be a lot easier. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't have to give her some direction, but based on all of our consistent notes from both rounds, she's been a top consistent performer.
I mean, I thought she was great, and she has definitely been consistent since the pre-screening round. There was a few different things that I really liked about her. So the subtleties, we were talking about the hair flips and the body language. I think she did well with Glenn. I think she did pretty well with Fernie. But there was that disconnect with the professor that I was really hoping that there was going to be some connection there.
It's her freshness and her youth and her these kind of sparkly eyes and the sass that lends me to think that she's really would is a great comedic actor. That's a part of it, but I'm getting the sense from the story that you also need somebody who's like, has a real, like, a capability of doing real harm.
She's got charm, she's got sass, she has so many qualities. And then it's like, is she cunning enough? Is she gonna show us that surprise at the end? Is she capable of that? But that's also the tricky thing, is each of these actresses are doing really, really well in like 3 categories and kind of lacking in 1. I love the sass. I don't mind little bits of comedic timing. This is a crime drama. It can't lean too hard into comedy.
I almost lost it. I almost broke character because he was cracking me up. Even like during the rehearsals, his facial expressions were like so on point, but like cracking me up at the same time. Yes.
Isabella.
So with Isabella, we gave her some direction yesterday. I think a lot of us were saying you seemed kind of stiff. And I think she was able to overcome that easily with the scene. The way she was interacting with each individual person, it was very personable. It was very unique. It wasn't the same exact mannerisms towards everyone, the same exact acting.
I think she definitely played the room really well. Again, I felt like there was a disconnect with her with Glenn in this. It was like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like we're trying to find a connection with all 3 of the characters, and she was lacking in that regard. She does really play a lot of really great emotion with her eyes. That was the one thing that I did really like about her, and her attitude was definitely there for that part too.
It wasn't until Rob said something about her the stiffness that y'all noticed yesterday. There was one moment where I was like, what? You know, I kind of it was like real. But I noticed it, and I think that's what it was. I really liked her point of view towards Fernie because of that one. It was just like, well, you know, I got you. I can one-up you any time of the day. I'm run circles around you, pal. So that gives you a glimmer of to what she's capable of for later on in the story.
That's true. I think she definitely stepped it up since yesterday. I saw teeny tiny moments in her eyes that I was like, depending on what the camera angle is going to be when we film this, that's going to be cinematic gold. Because she does so much with her eyes, just like the drop of her jaw, that she doesn't always need to speak to get the point across as far as her intentions. I needed more dismissive vibes towards Glenn. I needed her to be a little bit more frustrated towards Glenn, and maybe a tiny bit more seductive towards the professors.
Yeah, if I could do a redo, I definitely would dial in more on my feelings towards Glenn. I think I had small moments that I hit that, but I think I could have made that more apparent, so that's probably what I would change.
Going on to Olivia.
So with Olivia, like I've said before, this is a very multi-layered character, and I feel like the only layer I really saw from her was the quiet, mysterious type, which can be seductive, but there's also, you know, the sass, there's the ambition, there's the confidence, there's that outgoingness that really should have came out in this scene. And I get it, this is a mystery, but in a good mystery, the villain doesn't constantly act and portray this quiet, mysterious type. They're showing multiple layers, so you don't really see it coming. And I feel like we only got just one real layer from her in this scene.
With Olivia, I thought she really owned it. Yeah, like the biggest thing that I had was she needed more dynamics. And I think that could really sell with it. But I think the seduction that she had with the professor was great. I thought she didn't have to say anything to Glenn, but you can tell that she was just peeved off by him through her eyes, which, you don't have to say, it's like this, it's got this little gnat on my shoulder that just won't get away. And that's kind of how I felt with her. That's how her interaction was with her. And then you have with Fernie, and she was kind of like, okay, you can tell that she's like, okay, here's a threat. I think she really embodied the role. I think, yeah, there's different things that we can direct her on.
It's interesting. It's such a matter of taste to what you prefer, what acting style you prefer. But with because they're like all 3 are coming at their craft in a different way. And Olivia is very subtle. I think it seemed to me very subtle, very thought-oriented kind of thing, and not overshowing her hand.
Right.
The thoughts in her mind were clear. The transitions between each character, I thought, were pretty clear.
Seductive, great. I loved her mystery and intrigue. However, I do agree with Rob as far as we do need well-rounded. We do need different vibes, different notes in her emotions, different reactions, and different chemistry between each actor.
I was just a little confused by the feedback today with volume. You're being captured with multiple different mics, so they're able to adjust that in post. But they might have meant more like they wanted levels and range of my inflection. So I would love to get a little more clarity on that.
While the judges tally the scores, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Misty Valley Studios. Big stories, bold vision, hometown heart. Your local indie film studio turns real community grit into cinematic gold. The judges will be taking note of things such as on-screen presence, character believability, delivery of dialogue, and chemistry between the readers. Actors will be given a score of 1 to 5 in all categories, with a special category that rewards things like facial expressions and utmost charisma. And now it's time for the elimination round. Danae, please step to your mark. During round 2, our judges were looking for a wider range of dynamics, personality, and different kinds of chemistry between Zara and each respective character.
I feel like today went overall good. Like there's definitely things that I would change now knowing what I know, but I'm happy with my performance. I feel like I gave it my best.
One of our judges thought you were very consistent and multi-layered throughout each step of the Callbacks audition process, while another judge was hoping to see a bit more of Zara's seductive side in the performance. Overall, most of our judges agree that your sass, innocence, and subtle moments of comedic timing worked for the character. But some were also hoping you would bring a bit more intensity to the scene. Because of these reasons, our judges' thoughts were divided today. Out of a total possible score of 100 points, your final score for this round was 82. Danae, we appreciate the time and the character work you've put into every step of this journey. And our judges would still love to see what you might bring to the table in another audition. Congratulations, Danae, you are invited to the final round of Callbacks. Isabella and Olivia. Isabella.
I feel great, actually. I think I made the adjustments that I wanted to make, and I had that improvement that I was looking for and got that feedback from the judges, so I feel like I hit what I wanted to.
Some of our judges thought that you took the critiques from round 1 very well, and that you showed a bit more movement and body language in your performance today. However, some of our judges thought that you could have expressed a bit more annoyance towards Glenn's character throughout the scene.
I think my chances, I would give myself like a 60% chance of moving on.
Olivia.
How I felt about my performance today was pretty good. I feel like I was a little too much in my head and focused in on where I need to be other than being fully within Zara.
All of our judges agreed you brought an extremely seductive, provocative presence to the character that has made you stand out through each audition. Some of our judges thought that you have a natural maturity that brought a different kind of energy to this round, while some of our other judges wanted to see more of a multifaceted performance and were still hoping to see a wider range in your dynamics and your overall volume during the delivery of your lines.
My chances to move forward, honestly, I don't know. I really don't know.
Isabella and Olivia. Our judges' decision was an extremely difficult one today. We believe either of you could play a convincing Zara, but unfortunately, only one of you will move on to the final round, and one of you will leave us today. Olivia, your total score today was 80. And Isabella, out of 100 possible points, you received an overall score of 87. I'm sorry, Olivia. Please say your goodbyes. This was a very hard decision, but our judges would love to invite you to submit for future seasons of Callbacks, and we hope to work with you in the future. Isabella, congratulations, you were our top scoring actor during this round. You are invited to the final round of Callbacks. Congratulations to those who made it to the final round of Callbacks. Stay tuned for episode 3, where the actors will audition a new scene, and the judges will decide who will go home and who will become the winner of Callbacks Season 2. We'll see you next time.
I didn't read the scene as comedic, and I guess they all did. I mean, I think crime drama is more drama, so I guess I just wasn't reading it the way that everyone else was seeing it. I don't have any regrets coming on. I mean, this was a great experience, and honestly, it was really cool.
The person portraying this character has to show so many layers, and that's going to require a lot of range, and I think that these ladies did exactly that, especially the two that are moving forward.
I definitely was a little sad to see Olivia go. She brought such a provocative, seductive version of Zara, and then that was the tricky part. Every other actress started bringing their own dynamics and really driving those emotions
home.
Olivia, she was, I think, one of my favorites throughout the whole entire thing. I think for the finale, it's going to be close. My scores today for the 2 finalists were actually the same score.
It's just a subjective thing, you know, and we're tallying up points, and I don't like to think of what we do as a competition or you know, somebody's winning and somebody's losing kind of thing. So it's difficult, it's hard.
Just knowing that one person has to go that, you know, you worked with, even if it's for a short moment, yeah, it was nerve-wracking.
You know, it was such a difficult decision. I do not envy the judges. All 3 were great.
So for tomorrow's competition, I think it's going to be extremely close. I think we are talking maybe 1 to 2 points. These are 2 phenomenal actors. Like, I'd love to work with either of them. I say it again, I kind of feel bad for the judges.
Anything that's a secret is inherently more fun, which is why today's my favorite day of this season.
Dude, I'm like still in shock. I'm not gonna lie.
You went from several emotions back to back to back. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh my God, what's gonna happen next?
That is what I want as a director.
I think she was probably my favorite today.
Holy crap.
Today's decision was the most difficult one our judges have had to make thus far in this series.
Each of her performances always have this kind of quirkiness to it. It kind of throws me off a little bit.
The quirkiness, it adds to it.
I prefer having a little bit more of a realism and then the layers unfold.
I didn't write it with that in mind.
One of our judges loved the unique energy you bring to Zara's character, but that your performance today fell just a bit short for them.
I wanted more and more.
I think that if it is a problem, I think that she can be coached away from it.
It's hard for actors to convey the emotion without saying anything, and it's all there in their expressions and in their eyes, and she conveyed that entirely.
Is she cold-hearted? Does she have that killer instinct?
We need your help. Who did you feel the most chemistry with?